Hello, it is me, Pearl, from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot, and we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment, and if we want to see change, we do need to shift and change the energy within, and hopefully my readings help you do just that. All right, and I am picking out a couple different decks to work with this week for the week ahead energy reading, because that's what we're about to start. So we're going to be doing a little bit of collective energy around the general energy of the week. I will do a little update on love and money for the general energy. Hi, Nicole. Welcome. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Hi, welcome. Hi, Abby C. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're getting started. We're going to do collective energy. We're going to look at love and money and just everything that we can kind of expect this week. Hi, welcome, welcome. So good to see everybody popping in. I was playing with the filters before. I didn't actually end up using any of the makeup filters, but I put them on and I was like, oh, they're very sophisticated now. They look very real. They really do. We're going to use these two decks today. We're using the Prisma Visions Tarot that looks like this. This is a really cool deck. Has like a panoramic view on each one of the minor suits. And we're going to use the Uncommon Tarot, which is this unique deck here. That's sort of like a collage or mixed media deck, which I love. That is my jam. And we're going to look all at the energy of the week ahead. I'm going to be shuffling here. And I kind of feel like having a little bit of chillaxing music going on in the background while I'm doing this, while I'm doing the shuffle. These are both very feely decks that I chose. So I kind of feel like you might both be in this feely place, masculine, feminine energy, you and your person. If you're using these readings to get information about a person, I'm getting kind of a week of being in the feels, but not necessarily in a bad way, although I guess if you're not good at that or used to that, it could maybe be a little bit overwhelming. Hello, how are you, Tanya? Good to see you. So good to see you. Hi, Lady Luna. Welcome. Hi, Abby. How's my prayer circle? Y'all are my prayer circle at this point. If you're not a member of the prayer circle or one of the other levels of membership, go to passes.com/pearlsprayers to join up. It's going to be getting more and more detailed over there as the coming weeks unfold. I can't believe we're getting that freaking Ace of Wands again. Definitely Ace of Wands energy. Yes, me too, Abby. I'm so glad you caught me too. I'm going to be reading for about an hour and a half or so until my family is having our little gathering, because we're having my uncle come over, and it's my whole family. We're just having like a little Memorial Day thing, which will be really nice. Very nice. And then we're all planning to go to visit my son for his graduation on Wednesday. He's graduated high school, or he's going through his walk now on Wednesday. He already has his job. He's already set. He has a better paying job than I do at this point. And which is what you're hoping, I guess, for your child. And then his birthday is the week after, so we're going to celebrate as a family. And he is a Capricorn rising, so he loves to have his family around, even though we have like a split family. He still likes both of them to come together. So this is all for him this week. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, donations and private readings are still really crucial in helping stabilize my finances and in securing my car. I need to make a big payment on my car, so it is really important that I book readings, and if you're able to donate at this time for any of the free work that I do, I am in the receiving mode, so thank you in advance for all of that. let's do this general reading, and then after the general reading is over, depending on the time frame, I will do one card pulls for people for free, and then if you want a deeper reading than that, it's going to be $22, but that is for at the end of the collective reading. I usually like to go over this energy first. Sometimes it answers the questions that you might have on your mind when you come into the reading, and then you can ask another clarifying question for yourself after if you want to, for free. So that's why I'm going to be doing it this way today. I also don't have a ton of oracles out. I did a little cleaning and I took some of my oracles out, and I feel like it was because I was meant to change it up a little bit. So let me get a different oracle for y'all. I'm basically going to pull a Guardians of the Night Tarot and a Signs of the Time for you is what I will do. Because this is a fun deck. I like this deck. If you've never used this one, the Signs of the Time Oracle by Crystal Banner. It's a really good one. I like this one a lot. Alrighty. Anyone else have Memorial Day plans? Do tell. Okay, so let's get going. So the overall energy for the masculine this week looks a little scary. It's the Ten of Swords. This is the overall thing the mind is focused on. The mind, the mental space. The interesting thing about this deck, like I said, the minor arcana, which is like the swords, the wands, the cups, the pentacles, they form a panoramic view. And if we could see this whole bird here, what we would see is that this is a beastly swan. It's a swan with fangs, and it looks really scary. And swans are typically associated with commitment. And the way that I look at this energy for the masculine is that if there was a fear of commitment before that has kept you stuck in place, you or another person kind of stuck, not making any moves, this is coming to an end. This is a painful ending for some. So in some cases, it's like finally cutting yourself off from any energy that's non-committal and just like being like, not interested. For others, this is the pain has already been experienced and it's motivating them to make a really significant change in their lives. I saw a really powerful video today. Thank you so much for smashing the like button. When you're doing that, just know it is saving me from getting that warning that is like an inactive TikTok thing. So thank you for that. And when you're also commenting, that's helping too. So thank you also for that. Hi Miranda, no plans. Well, you know, you'll be on my mind so that you can plan to be on my mind today, Miranda. But so what's coming to mind with this energy for, I lost my train of thought. The masculine energy, things ending, no longer being stuck in your mind, no longer thinking that you can't commit to something or fearing committing to something. And this can be a person or it can be something that you're really wanting to do. And the reason I think that this is shifting or changing is because of this very motivational energy coming from the feminine here, which, note the butterfly for those of you that are continuing to see this sign, because I'm seeing this sign all the time. The Six of Swords, which is the energy of movement, moving away from painful lessons, painful experiences, painful past, stuck energy, moving on, going to somewhere more peaceful, somewhere that's more conducive to the goals that you have, elevating you to the next phase. If you were on the struggle bus, this is a week where you are leaving the struggle bus and you are heading somewhere brand new. And it feels good. It feels good to be done with this. This is a sigh of relief. This was a real pain in the ass. And now you don't have to worry about that anymore. That's what I'm feeling. I also think that because feminine energy is like, yeah, I'm good on that. I don't want to sit in the pain cycle with you. So I'm out, which definitely came out in the love reading the last love reading I did this week, which is probably it is on YouTube and also on passes.com/pearlsprayers. you can go to turnedintarot.com and scroll to Pearl's Prayers, click that button, and you'll find all of my full-length readings over there that I'm able to post. Sometimes I'm not able to post because I can't get them off of TikTok or something, but when I can, they're over there. But in that reading, the Six of Swords came out a lot. It was like, yo, Divine Masculine, it's been fun. It's been real. But I'm leaving, Hundy. I'm going somewhere new because I don't want to stay in this cycle of pain with you. And I think that's highly motivational to the masculine. I think that's getting him to be like, okay, I don't care if I don't know where committing to this is going to take me. If I'm not entirely sure I'm going to end up on my feet, I'm going to just give this a try. I'm going to give this a try. Underlying energy for general energy this week, we have the Fool card, which is definitely something that happens after something ends. After a painful cycle ends, there's a fresh new start, a fresh new beginning. So the masculine is like, okay, I did a bad thing. Or, you know, I restricted myself, or I kept worrying about things I can't control. Hi, Jackie and Nora, welcome. I am doing a collective reading right now. Your questions might be answered because this is a general reading that's going to address love and money, career, your state of well-being. If I don't answer your questions now, I will be pulling one card free readings at the end, and you can pose your questions again at the end of this collective reading. We just got started and we're on the underlying energy right now, but thank you so much for joining and welcome. Okay, so the masculine energy underlying, we have something ending, now something new can begin. We're done thinking in this really restrictive way, worrying about things we can't control. We just want to have a fresh mind about what's going to happen. I'm not going to think about what happened before with my car. I'm going to think about what's happening now with my car. I'm not going to think about what happened before in my relationship or connections. I'm going to think about what's happening now in my relationship and connections. And if nothing is happening, I'm going to look and see if I'm stuck in a certain mode of thinking that I'm not changing, which is causing me to repeat experiences. And I'm going to make a change and start fresh in some way. That's your commitment to yourself. That's what's supporting this ending of painful cycles. And that's what's supporting your person also ending painful cycles in their life. Fully supported with the Six of Wands energy, you're healed, Henty. This is the Star energy. You have healed. Only when you're fully healed can you really move on. And moving on doesn't necessarily mean that you never think again about what you had or what you imagined you would have. It doesn't mean that that never crosses your mind or that it makes you feel bad or negative or something when you do. It's not what moving on means. Moving on is that it's not triggering an emotional response in you that's causing you to become reactive and make decisions based on fear of the experience that you are avoiding. That's really what moving on means. So it's not triggering you to do that anymore. Instead, you're very hopeful about this potential to start fresh in some way. New place, new face, new person, something, just new version of you, new version of the way you think about relationship, connection, another person in your life, a job, a career, whatever it is. You're just ready. You've learned enough from the painful stuff. And now it's time to go somewhere brand new. And I love that for the energy of this week. Let's get a little bit into the nitty gritty and see where this is coming from exactly. Yes, moving on and up, Miranda. I love that. Hi, Linda. Welcome. We are doing a collective reading. You may get some information that you need from this collective reading, but I will be doing personal free readings at the end, one card pulls, and of course you can always donate to have a more in-depth reading as well. Okay, so where has the divine masculine energy been? And what from that past is he bringing with him into this current moment? So I do see this masculine energy being a bit lost. In this Nine of Wands energy, typically the Nine of Wands is about being isolated, healing our wounds, licking our wounds. It can be victim mentality. It can be just a sense of being really exhausted and just being kind of like done like a house and kind of ready to arrive at that 10 of Wands where you can finally put down the burden of searching. So what I see is that this masculine energy is tired of the cycles, right? He's tired of this feeling of being lost. And that's what's bringing about this decision to like stop suffering. It's like, I'm not going to suffer anymore. I'm so exhausted. I'm tired of being alone. And I want to be in connection with others. I want to know that I have come to a point on my healing journey where I finally know where I want to go and I can go there. And remember, this isn't just the person you're focused on, this is also you, right? What's clarifying this in the heart space or the feminine energy is, interestingly, the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is an energy that feels stable and reliable, wealthy, abundant, prosperous, someone who really knows their worth and value. They do profess it a bit. They do care what other people think. They do feel like it matters to them how they're perceived by others, their reputation, but they do desire to be like a good provider, a good protector. This is also a feeling for someone specific in your life. And what this is giving me is that you may be carrying in somebody that you have sort of had a very long and exhausting cycle with. The someone that you maybe had wanted to move on, but like I told you, when we move on, it doesn't mean we completely forget about the person. It's like we carry them with us. It's just we move on from the reactivity in the situation with that person. So it does look like you may be carrying a certain person in with you this week, or you're thinking about someone specific, or someone in your life is specifically thinking about themselves in regards to you and wanting to be in this role of somebody who's perceived as worthy by you. This is less of wanting other people or the world to see them as worthy. This is wanting you to see them as worthy, wanting the feminine energy to feel good about them, like they've healed and they've worked hard and now they can be perceived as somebody that's, worth your time. And you've got that same feeling. It's like, I've done my work. I know my value and I want to be perceived as someone who is worth your time, worth texting, worth calling, worth, dropping everything and going to spend time with. That is what I want to feel. And that's what your person wants you to feel this week in regards to connection. If it's in terms of romance, in terms of your work, you want to feel like you're getting out of this phase of being really exhausted by the work that you're doing and finally feeling like you're creating wealth from it and not just giving energy where you're not receiving. The current energy for the masculine is the 8 of chalices or the 8 of cups. And this is a very interesting 8 of cups because the cups are actually the staff that this person is using to navigate this foggy energy that's all around them. Very unusual. Normally we see 8 of cups, the person is leaving behind these cups. They're walking towards the sun and the moon, the culmination of the masculine and feminine energy coming together. But in this case, we're seeing that this person is actually leaning on this stuff from the past to navigate somewhere new. We know that's happening because we know that this week is all about leaving something behind, ending a cycle, moving on from something and going somewhere new and fresh with that stork energy too. So I think it's kind of nice because it emphasizes the point I made that when you move on, you don't necessarily stop thinking about the past or having the past be a part of your present experience, but it becomes more of a supportive experience than it is something that's dragging you down or causing you to repeat it here in the present moment. It's something that you rely upon to give you a sense of where you are in the current moment and where you're going. The feminine energy is giving us this 2 of cups. So the feminine energy's current mindset is, I am interested in having work that is something I love to do. So I'm leaving behind anything that I don't really love anymore, but I'm definitely leaning on everything I've learned from the past about what I don't want. In terms of connection or relationship, it's like I'm leaving behind any of the fog or confusing situations that I have considered love relationships in the past. I now know that I deserve a level of clarity that I should receive out the gate in a connection. That shouldn't be something that I have to like beg for. It's just something that should naturally come to me. And I should be able to have a physical connection with somebody and not have to have this ethereal, someday when this person decides to return kind of thing. That's not an appropriate way for me to experience love and romantic connection, because I only live in the present. I don't live in the future, and I don't live in the past. I may learn from the past, I may imagine a future, but I'm here now, I'm present now, and that's where love and connection is meant to happen for me. So if this person who you've been focused on and carried with you is wanting to be a part of this physical romantic connection, the only way that they would be able to do that is by leaving behind those painful cycles we talked about in the beginning of the reading. The final outcome for this week is, if you saw the reading I just did, the first card out in the reading I just did on TikTok is the Ace of Wands. Now, there is no more significant Ace of Wands that I've ever seen in terms of its true meaning than this card. If you are thinking about something you shouldn't be thinking about on TikTok, or else I might get banned, you've thought correctly about the energy of what this card is meaning. But remember that drive or that desire or that passion or that pulls us, it's very strong. First of all, it's a very, very strong desire. Probably nothing more powerful than when we feel that urge. And it's about finally allowing yourself to grasp that desire and to actually have it, rather than it just be something that you are just longing for. Because there's this bursting energy that I'm getting that's showing me that you're actually getting what you want, not just like edging to that point or something, right? Or maybe you've been edging all along and you're finally gonna get what you desire, and that's coming with the Chariot. So the drive is too powerful for you to resist this week. You will be passionately carried away into what it is that you're desiring, which for some of us looks like either something we love to do in the world or someone we love to be with. There is like a physical desire, a physical draw. It may be somebody completely new for some of you, or it might be a completely new experience because you've never been here with this particular person before. But I am seeing a full culmination happening in regard to some new passion or new interest, and just a surrendering to that and just letting yourself just go and grab life by the kahunas. Okay, let's get you a Guardians of the Night tarot card and Spirit Animal, because this is like a combined deck which gives us messages from both. And this will be your Spirit Animal, or sometimes it has more than one, for the week. And your message, your tarot card for the week. So when you see this tarot card coming up this week, it's significant. It should bring you back to this reading and remind you where you're going. I just pulled the Ace of Wands from this deck, which is the exact card that I pulled in the TikTok reading that I did. If you didn't see that reading, you should probably go see that reading. Holy moly, that's very significant to me. And I'm going to read that card for you in a moment. So Spider Spirit and Firefly Spirit, those are the two spirits I'm seeing in that card. And now let me just get you a sign of the time. So this is another thing that if you see this sign this week, you should be reminded of the progress you're making on your journey. You should be reminded of the lessons you learned in this and of the energy that's all around you. Oh, wow. And definitely go watch that TikTok reading, because we have the Enlightenment card coming up with the lotus flower. I'm also seeing communication here with letters being mailed. This doesn't necessarily have to be that you're getting a physical communication in the mail, but it could be an email, a text message, SMS, whatever. Also, it's reminding me of my son's graduation, like cards, receiving gifts of some kind. Maybe significant. Okay, let's look first at the Ace of Wands from the Guardian of the Night tarot. This is by the same creator of the Crow Tarot, if you're already familiar with that deck, which is a beautiful deck. Let me see. I got to see what people are saying. Nicole's saying, I've reached the hormonal stage where I can no longer be stigmatized. I love that. I saw it a bit ago and I had a dream with a spider that I couldn't get off me. Ooh, interesting. Spiders are about patience. They're about creativity. Let's get this Ace of Wands for everybody. Okay, the Ace of Wands brings forward an original path, a new reason to feel enthusiastic about a blossoming situation. This is not the time to sit back and wait for things to happen. No, now is the time to let your creative mind explore all the possibilities. When the Ace of Wands appears, you will benefit significantly from mustering up the courage and letting yourself entertain new and imaginative ideas. This is not the time for self-doubt or second-guessing. Pay attention to your gut and areas that call your attention. Like a spider's web, you will feel the vibration when something of value is near. Pay attention to the signs and follow your gut, as it will lead you down a path to fresh opportunities. Call upon the firefly's energy when you need to feel comforted in the dark, or when you need the courage to move forward without knowing exactly where you are going. Which was at the beginning of this reading with this energy here of the masculine being like, yeah, I've been afraid of where commitment is going to lead me, or committing to this, could be committing to a person, a place, moving somewhere, a job, a new way of living, a health regimen, whatever. I'm not necessarily sure where it's going to take me, but Firefly Spirit is here to just help you, even when you don't have that courage. This small creature illuminates the darkest of nights. When you use its energy, you will feel a brightness glowing from within, which will help guide you as you move forward. The spider lends its energy by offering creativity and sensitivity to vibration. The spider knows how to craft the perfect web, one that will yield the greatest return without being caught up in itself. Although a new adventure is forming, the spider also brings restraint. Having the ability to create a foundation for success is but one part of the equation. The spider also possesses patience, knowing in time its hard work will pay off and it will attract its desired outcome, which you are doing here with this Ace of Wands and the Chariot together. The spider brings patience, creativity awareness as one phrase, vibration, and connected energy. The firefly brings guidance, creativity, inspiration. So those are your two spirit animals this week. If you see them or you dream about them or they figure prominently in some way, pay attention to what you're thinking about at the time, to what the dream was that you had, other things that were going on, to see if you can receive any messages from Spider Spirit. And we've got number 27, the lotus flower. This is your sign when you see this week also, or when you see the number 27, or 2 and 7 equals 9. We've got the lotus flower represents the quiet strength and ease that follow once you have achieved a heightened level of awareness. You have an inner knowing, peace, and spiritual connection that shift your focus from constant worry to allowing yourself to approach situations as they come. After many life lessons, you have grown and acquired valuable wisdom. Situations that may have previously caused stress or strife now roll off your back. You are approaching life with a pure heart and calm mind, which allows you to rise above the noise. With this enlightenment lifting you up, it is still important to stay grounded. You may be serving as an example for others who may not possess the same level of understanding you now have. So be patient and accept people for where they are in their journey. This card can also symbolize a fertile time and/or rebirths. The additional meanings include connection with ancestors and remembering your roots, less focus on material things, the ability to teach things, and applying lessons learned. Stay humble and grounded this week. So those are your messages for the week ahead. After I'm able to download this video, I will be posting it to passes.com/pearlsprayers, and I will probably post a version to Tuned In Tarot YouTube as well. It just depends on whether it lets me upload or not. Sometimes it just doesn't because my computer recently broke and now I only have my phone and an old iPad. which has made my job a little difficult, but you know, it's okay. If you do want to donate those to help me get a new computer, to help me give a nice gift to my son on Wednesday when I visit him, to help support me and pay for my car and all the other lovely things that I need to pay for, please go to that link in my profile. Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App are most welcome. You can book a private reading, which will also help. They are currently on sale, 50% off for a virtual session with me. There's also video recorded readings available that are maybe a little more budget friendly for some. And if you want to work with me on a weekly basis, please know that I do work with people on their budgets. So if you feel like you need some weekly support for a little while to kind of overcome something, master something, come to peace with something, spiritual, nutrition, and even music. I teach voice, piano, and electronic production and sound design. That's what pianos are about. I went to Berklee College of Music, and I was one of the only women in the electronic production and sound design department. And I'm very passionate about teaching other marginalized people who don't have access to music studios how to produce themselves, so that they know at the very least how to do it, especially if they're going and working with others. They can advocate for themselves about what they want their music to sound like and all of that good stuff. So if that's something that is very interesting to you, please hit that link in my profile. There is a place where if you scroll to where it says video reading and you swipe, there's this place called Ask Me. You can ask me anything for free there. I will respond with a video response or a call if you want me to call you to talk about any of the things that I talked about today that you might be interested in. Let me see these comments. We've got, yes, thank you, absolutely, tears of joy. Oh, I'm so happy that you're experiencing that. You're a late bloomer, so to speak, and you're not perfect, but you did doubt myself because of perfection. Yes, and that's what that reading was really about that I did on TikTok today. Is I just got this message right before I went to do the reading that was like, you do not have to do everything perfectly. And my day is going well. Thank you so much for asking. I hope your day is going well too. All right, so we're at that point now. If you have a question that you would like me to answer or pull cards for, go ahead and put your question in the comments and I will choose some questions and answer them. If you would like more than just one card pulled, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, $22, and I will pull 3 cards for you plus the top and bottom of the deck to give you a full assessment of the question. And if you would rather do it privately, again, that link in my profile, turnedintarot.com, many options to have your reading be private. Oh, I said I was going to look specifically at love and money too. So after this free readings portion, I'll wrap up the reading with 3 cards about love specifically this week and 3 cards about money this week specifically, in case you desire that. But for now, if there's anyone with a question, pop your question in the comments and I will go ahead and pull a card for you. Also, the list is open if you'd like a more in-depth reading. Just let me know you want to be on the list. Thank you so much for liking the live. Also, thank you for sharing the live. I see we got some shares. Thank you for saying I'm a gem. I am Pearl after all. I really appreciate that. That helps. That's really helping. My lives are getting better slowly and steadily. I'm seeing more viewers come through the lives. Seems like TikTok is starting to be a little more friendly to my account again. Yesterday, Lady Luna and I got to do our nails together, and I'm so proud of myself because I did this myself. This is my first time ever doing gel, like full coverage tips that were already filed, which is because that's like the part that I just don't have the patience for. And I used a new gel nail polish, and both of those things I received through TikTok Shop. So if you're interested in either of those tips or the nail polish or the TikTok viral chair that I have, you can click my showcase too. And anytime you purchase from my showcase, that also does support me. So there's that. There's also ways to send me decks too. I know sometimes people want to send a deck once in a while. I love to get them. Do I need them? No. Do I want them? Yes. There's a link in my profile for that too. Let's see. What are my ancestors wanting me to know? Oh, my mom passed away last month and everyone is speaking in. First of all, let me send you a big energetic hug for losing your mom last month. Almost 2 months ago, my mom had open heart surgery. It wasn't fully unexpected. They identified a heart defect and we had a couple months to prepare, but I really had to face like what that would be like to lose my mom, and it really scared me. So I don't know how you feel exactly, but I know that I was really afraid to lose my mom, so I'm sending you a big hug. So you're getting a lot of things through signs. Oh, there was those 2 owls in the reading I just did. If you noticed that in the reading I did on TikTok. And I've been hearing owls lately. I literally heard an owl when I went outside the other night and I was surprised. All right, so let's get a card from ancestors. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, let me get tears coming up. So this is a 4 of Wands, which is like a really nice card to get from a loving, supportive group of ancestors who are celebrating you and celebrating your life and want you to celebrate you and your life. The 4 of Wands is about stable, healthy relationships and connections. There's trees here. I associate trees with ancestry because of roots. Very interesting that of all the decks I have, this deck chooses to make the 4 of Wands out of roots, which is giving me a sense that like you're meant to have a lot of joy and happiness in your life, and your ancestors like created a stable structure for you, even if it's been difficult sometimes to like see it or understand it completely. They laid the foundation for who you are, even when they acted in ways that you didn't want them to act. It made you make choices that would create a more stable and healthy environment for you and your family. It's a really special energy. I feel like a mom energy that's kind of like, I don't even know what your relationship status is, but I feel like this mom energy that's like excited about their daughters like coming together with a perfect reflection of who they are, who they should be, and celebrating that union, wishing for that or hoping for that, or hoping that you have a stable connection, loving connection, or seeing that you do. If you're currently in a connection, they really feel like it's a good one or something. If that's not true, then they're seeing that happening for you, and they're like, you can do it. Like you're such a strong, stable person. You don't even realize, I think. And beautiful too, with all these flowers here. Like you created something really special in your life, and there's still a part of it. Like there's still a part of it, and your mom's still a part of it, even though she's not physically present with you. The trees in Mohawk tradition were called the standing people, and they are the observers. They're the ones that watch. For centuries everything unfolds, and it's like that's who she is in your life and will continue to be, like that stable, strong energy, the watcher, watching over and protecting and ensuring that you get to have this life that, you know, every mother, as a mother, you desire for your child to have. You pulled myself out of a third party twins and I became a secret. Yes, I have others who have been in that situation before that I've worked with. Good for you. And you're entitled to having this for yourself, where there's nothing hidden, nothing secret, but it's fully celebrated and like out and in the light. So thank you for being here. Thank you for asking a question today and for allowing me to tap into your energy. I appreciate you. And if you ever need a private reading, you know where to find me. Before you stopped it all and call yourself out and all involved and you feel free. That's amazing. I love that. I love that so much. If there's anyone else here today who would like a reading, just go ahead and put your comment, your question, and I'll go ahead and pull one card. If you want a deeper reading, click that link in my profile, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, $22, and I will do a deeper reading for you. I'm going to get a drink of water here. Abby, are you doing something for Memorial Day, babes? I know you got a big family and friends group. Honestly, I'd probably like to be at Abby's for Memorial Day. Abby says, Nicole, my mom is doing really well. She's driving herself now. She is, she went back to she volunteers every week to work at like an outreach, kind of like a thrift store, St. Vincent de Paul from the church. She's back to work there. She's tired in the evenings a little bit. She's still got a little bit of soreness around the incision site for open heart surgery, for those of you that don't know the full story. But she's really doing really well. So we're very excited. Oh, you're working today? Oh, poor Abby. Okay. Well, I hope you get to have a little bit of fun with your friends. If not today, then soon. So let's see. What are Abby's spirit guides wanting her to know right now? Thank you so much, Jules. I appreciate that. What are Abby's spirit guides wanting her to know right now? So we're getting the Three of Wands for you. And this is a really interesting one because it shows this feminine energy tending to it's kind of interesting. She's got a flower in her hand. She's got a peaceful smile on her face. And it looks almost like she's tapping into some kind of a well here. And the wands, of course, being about ideas and inspiration, we could almost see her tapping into some kind of an inspiration. The Three of Wands is about having faith that what we have asked for in the Two of Wands is now here, so that we can claim it and enter into the Four of Wands, which we actually just pulled out before this card. I'm getting a sense that you're just being really acknowledged by your spirit guides, that you're really being very patient in a beautiful way. Like you have this beautiful, peaceful patience, which might not be how you always feel. I know like Virgo energy can actually be challenged with patience. So they're really acknowledging you that in some aspect, and I'm considering, based on our readings together, is probably in terms of like love and connection, relationship, that you have been this kind of graceful, and that you should feel the full faith of the Three of Wands, that what you've asked for is here, it is present. And as you tune more and more into that feeling that you're seeking through that connection, you're going to see it happening in the 3D. Three of Wands for me, the three-dimensional aspect of taking something that we're just imagining and seeing it finally come to fulfillment. See all the ways in which what you desire is already true, and you create more of what you desire. My left ear just kind of went out for a second, and I remember that when we were together, we kept getting that ringing in our ears when we were together, and so that just reminds me of that kind of the magic that was there when we went on our trip, and the ways in which you showed up for me and showed me that what I wanted was right there, was all around me. I feel like I'm being told, like, you're receiving that same gift that you're consistently giving me. Like, you're helping me to heal my Chiron wound, and like as you're doing that, you're creating that reality, that beautiful reality that you're kindly, patiently, lovingly, nurturingly waiting for. And I think that's beautiful. And I also feel like there is something I've told you this before, I'm going to tell you again, you are so good at creating just beautiful spaces. And I see her doing something with beauty and like creating something I still think there is something there that would really bring you joy and fulfillment, and calls for more exploration, because it's like once you figure this out and start doing it, it's like your masculine energy figuring out what makes them happy and doing it. And that's something I think that will help you also on that journey. You're so welcome, Abby. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. I'm so grateful for you. Genuinely so grateful. And you deserve the absolute best. All of us deserve everything that we're hoping and desiring. You deserve that. You deserve it. I'm here to tell you. I'm here to give you permission to tell yourself that you deserve it. And you will have it. You will have it. Hi, Dustin. Welcome. If you want a question answered, you can go ahead and put your question in the comments. If you just want a general reading, you can just put general also. Anyone else who like a question read, go ahead and put it in the comments. I'm going to do a few more of these, and then once I'm done with these once I'm done with these one card pulls, I will do the final three cards for love and 3 cards for money to close out the general energy of this week. If you are wanting a more private reading, you can of course click the link in my profile. Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App is there for sorry, I said that wrong. If you want a private reading, there's video recorded readings. There is a intuitive guidance call that's on sale for 50% off. That's an hour-long call with me via Zoom. And if you want a more in-depth reading, if you want more than one card, Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, $22 for a more in-depth reading. Absolutely. Let's see. We just got a bunch of comments flooding in here. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, so we've got Meg. Can I have a general reading, please? I'm going to do Meg, and then I see Rose Quartz. Okay, so Meg, can you have a general reading? Ooh, you got that 8 of Cups. This came out in the general reading I just did for this week. It was the second card in the row for the divine masculine energy. It was in the current energy, and it was interesting because as I was saying, most 8 of Cups have like our toxic things here, and then we're walking away from them. But this card actually builds the staff out of the cups, and this person is leaning on it as they leave behind this kind of confusing energy. So I think that is really true for you. And if you didn't have a chance to see that full reading, I'm going to be downloading it and posting it later this evening. So it should appear at passes.com/pearlsprayers in full. You can also see your own reading again because it will be over there. And there will also be like probably a portion of the reading on Tuned in Tarot YouTube as well. But basically, this is showing me that either you or someone else is having to walk away from something, but you or someone else is taking everything they've learned with them and using it to guide them through this confusion in their lives. This can be someone finding their way back home to someone or something. It can be just someone leaving behind. I'm getting a sense of somebody that's like, I don't even know why I do what I do. And letting that be an excuse for how they are. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to identify why I do what I do so that I can not do it anymore and go in a new direction. That's what I'm seeing for you, Meg. And I'm going to get a card for Rose Quartz. She's asking for just a love card. And for all of you, even if you're not getting a reading, I will be pulling 3 cards for love for the collective and 3 cards for money when I close out this session. Okay, so for love, we have the 3 of Cups. Now, this can have multiple layers. A lot of readers will instantly read third-party energy into this card. There's someone else in the mix. You might be the third party in a situation. That's what they'll instantly read. Much more prominent for me in this card, especially the imagery here, is people doing things together, fun things together, having a good time, dating, getting out there and showing off a little bit. We've got these, like, they're doing the can here. There's like, there's this desire to like show off a little bit, to have, like, to be on display, to be admired. And the only way to kind of experience that is to sort of get yourself out there, either with friends or if you're on a dating app or something, just actually going out on dates. But what I'm seeing is just having fun with it, instead of it being something where you're like searching. Thank you so much, Abby. I appreciate that. Instead of something where you're just constantly searching for someone, it's more just like you're actually just having fun connecting with other people. So that's what I'm seeing for you in that energy. It can also indicate that you may be receiving a lot of the love and support that you need through your friendships right now, and asking you to consider that. And when you appreciate that, it instead of, like, I think sometimes we fear that if we feel like we're getting all of our needs met from where we are right now, that somehow that means that we won't get the thing that we don't have. But it's the opposite. It's like, as soon as you start recognizing that you are getting all your needs met through connection, through friendships, and it feels good, and you are a good friend to yourself, and you know how to give yourself a good time and go on a date with yourself and have fun, that's when energy finally comes in for us in loving connection. So keep that in mind. I see the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck too, so I do know that that is meant to bring you fulfillment and happiness. All right, we've got Dustin, who asked about, is love coming soon? I'm also seeing that Meg said, that's me 100%. Thank you. You're so welcome. And you're welcome, Rose. And Dustin, I've got you here with the romantic love here for a girl, or about a girlfriend, or like GF or something. Like, is that happening kind of thing is what I'm getting from that. And for those of you that are asking about love, make sure you stay tuned for that last 3 love cards, just to see what the collective energy for this week is regards to love specifically. I touched on it a bit in the reading, the general reading, but I'll give a little bit more specific cards. Okay, so the question being love soon, question mark, then you clarified romantic love, girlfriend, possible. What I'm getting here is, when I get a when I have a yes or no question and I get a sword card, what I'm getting from that is a no, but don't panic, because it's not just a no. When I read a yes or no energy, I'm looking at your current thoughts and feelings and your mindset. And currently what I'm seeing is that there's praying going on. There's like, can be a little bit of overthinking about this experience, about when someone asks me when something is going to happen, like in this case, will there be love soon? If I told you yes, would you relax? Like, if I said, yes, there'll be love soon, would that make you relax? Not usually. Not usually. Usually when I tell somebody, yes, there'll be love, it actually isn't the satisfying answer that they're seeking, because it's not the real question that they're asking. They're not really asking when. Because if you believed that was going to happen, you would feel immediately relieved. So what you're really asking is, will it ever happen, in a way? That's really more of the feeling I get from a question like that. And a little bit of fear that because there has been silence, there could be silence between you and someone else, no communication, a fear that it won't ever happen. There's snow here on the ground, and the swords in this case are buried in the snow, like as if there's something that's been put on ice. But there's one sword here that's straight, like sticking straight into the ground, and it looks like we could pull it out of the ground and either use it if we needed to. And this is like truth, honesty. The Four of Swords is about faith, having faith. So in order for you to see your situation turn around and to see love happen, there has to be faith that it will happen. Self-doubt about when and how that's really kind of pushing it away. I have the same issues in my life where I'm a person who's constantly in my head. I think, I worry, I think about things a lot. And that can actually be pushing things away. So meditation, resting your mind, distracting yourself from thoughts, surrendering, if you have a spiritual practice, surrendering, timeline, and just being like, I know this will happen as I shift my mindset, and I'm shifting my mindset now, which means that it can happen now. Because I like to release divine timing. A lot of people talk about divine timing all the time. Oh, it's happening in divine time. It's happening in divine timing. No. You are divine within you, which means you're in control of the timeline. And happening in divine timing just means it's how long it took you to like align with the thoughts. But that was always in your control. The illusion is that it wasn't. The illusion is that like, oh, I would never have thought that way if XYZ had happened. Well, no, it's just that it took XYZ for you to arrive there. But if you could have believed that you could walk on water from the second that you saw Christ doing it and trusted it without doubt, you would have walked on water. There would have been no sinking. You would not have started sinking. But then again, it's okay that you're sinking, because that divine energy is there to lend you a hand and be like, no, you can believe. You just believe. Just grab my hand and believe that you can walk on water, and you can do it right now. There's no delay necessary. You don't have to do more healing. You don't have to do more. No, I reject that. I just think that a lot of us took a long time to believe in our power and our worthiness. Thank you so much, Rose, for the rose. A lot of people take a while to get there, but that's the only thing that's delaying it. It's really within your power. And I have to tell myself this every day. So don't feel like it's, oh, I can't, like, I'll never get that because I don't think this way, or I worry a lot. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you worry a lot. As long as you're consistently coming back to like, okay, well, that's one perspective. But the other perspective is that I'm ready for this now. It's happening now. I'm open to this now. And I'm shifting all the ideas. I'm ignoring them. I'm like making them ridiculous. The ridiculous spell in Harry Potter. Because it's just fear. It's just fear. Oh, it's never going to happen. I'll be alone forever. And the other thing to do to fix that is to really enjoy the fuck out of your own company. Like when I go upstairs to my room, it's just me. I'm not going to lie. I have grown to really enjoy hanging out with myself. And it took me a long time to get there. But now I'm really there, to the point where I'm like, I love and I love being like in deep connections with people. But I'm thinking I'm going to need my own wing in my house. Like, I just am going to need that. When you get there, that's when love comes. When you get to the point where, like, I don't know if there's room for love right now because I love me and I love my peace and I love my solitude and I love my quiet. When you're there and you're not even sure if you want it anymore, that's when it comes, and that's when you get to receive it or not. You're so welcome, Dustin. Thank you. Jen, I'm so glad you like these analogies. I often say that, like, a lot of the things that I pull through, I can't really attribute to my own, like, oh, I'm such a brilliant person. I know all these, I'm so wise. I know all these things. It's just really more that I have a lot of analogies. So I just absorb and I remember things. And when I have to channel messages, I've got like a sponge brain for all of the different things I could like relate it to. So I'm a good vessel for a message, but the messages come through me. I can't take full credit. I wish I could. I can't even take full credit on my music. If you all don't know, I'm Pearl from Pearl in the Prayers. And I've been doing music for like 15, 20 years, but I lived in Los Angeles for almost a decade. And I put out, I have a couple of tracks released under Pearl in the Prayers that you can go listen to. There's a link in my profile. And so I do music as well. And I have to say the same thing about music. While I did go to school, while I am quote unquote an expert, while I know my shit, I'm still not responsible for what comes through me. Like, I'm a good vessel for something else, for a higher thing. I love how your readings are like a story. I try to apply that when I read. I love that. Thank you for saying that. And yeah, that's that for me. I've always loved reading books. I've always loved films and stories. I think that's how people learn about themselves. Whenever I meet people who don't like to read, I'm always like, oh, There's so many selves you've never gotten to be. There's so many places you didn't get to go. There's so many experiences you never got to have. Like, I've been a heroin addict without ever being a heroin addict. I've been like in like a terrible war and I've never been in a war. Like, I've learned so many different perspectives. And for me, when you're watching something on TV, you're a spectator, but when you're reading, you're actively involved because you have to create imagery in your mind. You have to like feed life into the world that you're reading about. And so it's less of a spectator sport than when you're just watching someone else's ideas sort of cascade. You can still feel like you experience something through someone's perspective when you're watching something on TV or in a film. But when you're in a book, like, you and that character that you're reading about are bonded, and everything that's going on is like in your own mind. And, you know, as Dumbledore says, why ever would that mean it's not real? So it's kind of a really interesting way to experience lots of new and interesting things, which is what I think higher consciousness seeks to do throughout all of the incarnations that exist on the earth. Meg says, did you read The Fool's Journey or learn in a different way? I mean, my original deck was the Rider Smith-Waite Tarot, and I had a book that went with it. And I would use that book, and I would use like Biddy Tarot in its early days. I would look up Biddy Tarot readings in its early days. And then I came across a book in like 2010 by, I can't think of the right author now, but the book is called The Thursday Night Tarot. And it goes in depth into all of the major arcana cards. And it was a really beautiful, well-written book. And it was probably one of the first times that I finally like started to fully absorb all the meanings of the cards. And I didn't really even know that was happening until years later when I started to read for people. And then I had kind of learned the story through those books or whatever. You're saying, oh, Jules is saying what I said is so profound. Thank you. Mega said, I've been having a lot of problems remembering the standard meaning of each card. Oh, okay. So everybody learns differently. And I was an art history major for my first bachelor's. And I always felt that I was good at it because if I see a picture and someone talks about it, I just got a live restricted containing themes. Okay, so I'm just got age restricted for some reason. I'm not sure why. But when I was reading books, no, just that made me lose my train of thought. Oh, yes, when I would see paintings, like the professor would put paintings up and then they would start talking about it, and then I would go to take the test. As soon as the painting came up, I could just remember everything I was hearing, like when I saw it. So if the professor was like, this painting was painted in X year and it was commemorating XYZ, then when I saw the painting on the test, immediately I would remember this painting was created in this year and it was commemorating this, like almost verbatim. So that skill I just brought with me when I started watching tarot on YouTube. I already had a general familiarity with the cards. I had already learned to look at them, not necessarily having to memorize what they meant, but also just like the colors and how they spoke to you and how you felt when you were looking at the card. And then I just started to be able to memorize it because I would see the person hold the card and they would be like, like the 10 of Pentacles. This is about wealth, material prosperity, happiness, fulfillment. It's a 10, so it represents completion. It can represent a family, a legacy. And it just helped reinforce it. So if you need a story in order to understand the cards, this actually might be a really good deck for you. Do you know about this deck, the Prism of Visions deck? Have you ever used it, or do you have it? The reason why this might be a cool deck for you is because all of the cards form a story. Like here, this is Pentacles. Here's another Pentacle. Look at this. And then you can tell the story here of these two cards together. There's actually another Pentacle right here. This is an 8, so technically this would be between these two. Isn't this cool? So if you can find a deck that really, really speaks to you, that has like, that tells the story within it, it might be a really great way for you to memorize the cards. Like for instance, if we tell this story, let's say we start in the beginning of the story, we'll start at the earlier number, which is the 6 of Pentacles. Here we see 2 people coming together and exchanging something, and they're holding that pentacle between the 2 of them. There's a tree here showing like roots. We've got all of these this fruitful energy here in the image, and it's a grounding energy too. So it looks like they're having a happy, equal, even exchange. And then we see here this, in the 8 of Pentacles, we see this feminine energy who's tending to a garden. We associate this with working, the 8 of Pentacles. So we see that probably what happened is, I'm assuming that early on in connections, this person probably had to learn how to receive an even exchange. I don't think this came easily to this person, because we're seeing that they took some time, right? We're missing a step here. The 7 is missing. So we know that something had to occur here. If the 7 was here, we would see planting and tending to the seeds. And then we would arrive at the 8, and we see now something that we've tended to has really blossomed or grown, something that we've worked on. So we worked on having reciprocal energy with people. We put in that work. Now we have this beautiful garden, and now we're in a place where we can invite someone in. Now, I also know the 9 is missing, so we know that there's a little something missing here in the story. So there's another step that has to take place for us to get here. And that step, if you know what's missing, the 9 of Pentacles, is the rewarding yourself from the hard work that you've done. Letting yourself actually be rewarded, which can mean for some allowing yourself to be single and fabulous and date people. And for others, it can just be really just that garden that you've tended to, finally just experiencing some of the fruits of that labor, getting your nails done, focusing on the glow up, feeling good about yourself, whatever it is, enjoying your wealth. And then finally someone enters in and brings that final pentacle, and you end up with the perfect picture that you were envisioning of happiness. So this might be a good deck for you to take a look at, because it has that storytelling that might really resonate with you. And these cards are just, they are truly beautiful cards. And each one is different. There's, you know, like the Pentacles is more of that earthy tones. The swords are the wintry scenes. And the wands are like in the forest, and there's like this energy flowing through all of them. You're so welcome. Yes, and neglecting self-care. It's so ironic because I'm germinating seeds for my garden right now. I love that. I love that so much. All right, everybody, let's do this final 3 cards, I promise. So we're going to get 3 cards for love and 3 cards for money. We're going to do love first. So 3 cards for love. 3 cards for love. And these are kind of my little junk food cards. And this is this week, the energy of this week. 3 cards for love. Oh, I'm going to put these together. I don't know. I didn't see that one come out. And the final card there. Okay, and then I'm going to do 3 cards for money. I think I'm just going to use my Signs Oracle deck for the money. Give me the signs for the money, honey. Excuse me. There are randomly 2 self-care cards in there. I had no idea. Take a walk and watch a movie are coming out. So we will call that our self-care activities for this week, because I didn't even know they were stuck in this deck. All right. Give me 2 more cards, please. No. No. Just one at a time. Are these... I don't know. I guess they're mixed upside down. They're reversals. I usually have that. Okay. Interesting. Alrighty. So let's do love first. The first card that came out was the Golden Mirror. Self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship, and love bombing. This is in the past. So if we were going to look at this as a general energy, or not general energy, but love energy that we're carrying in this week, We are carrying in the lessons we learned from a past relationship that had these elements of the golden mirror. Twin flame relationships I often associate with the golden mirror. So it could be like your thoughts about a person that you considered your twin flame, or somebody who you thought was a really important soulmate for you or something. But you're carrying in all the lessons you learned from that person, that individual. There is a little bit of a warning there that if you have fear of another narcissistic, one-sided relationship with love bombing, then this energy might be a little unsettling to you, because we've got I like you coming out with kisses. So this is someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun flirting, wanting to date. And then kisses is unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, and falling in love. So for those of you that have that dynamic from your past of having experienced love bombing before, I feel like you want to just be a little softer this week when you do start to experience this love coming in, falling in love, or experiences of being in love with somebody that is really going to tell you I like you, or that I've fallen in love with you. Maybe in the past they made it seem like they were only love bombing you, but they're coming in with the real something very solid now. Or you have somebody completely new coming in and saying I love you, or I'm falling in love with you, and you have a little bit of a tendency to be suspicious. Okay, so that's just a little caution coming in. We've got looking at you, photos, missing you, nostalgia, and making new memories with photograph here. So I think this new love coming in is definitely going to make you reflect upon the past. I think also the potential here is that you have really good memories with somebody, and when they finally do express to you that they do love you, and or that they like you, and that romance has bloomed, and that they want to give and receive affection, that you'll be creating these new memories with this person, or reflecting upon the good memories that you didn't really get to share because they just weren't really fully showing up in the connection. It was that one-sided situation. So just to sum up, there could be a person that you had a one-sided connection with. It made you feel a little bit wary of new love relationships, or the potential for new love with that person. When that person does come in and say, I like you and I'm falling in love with you, it may give you pause for a moment. It may make you reflect upon what happened in the past. But what I see here is that if you can soften and allow, you will be able to open up and create new memories with this person. And I think that it will be better than any of the things that you were imagining were going to happen in the past. For money, we've got rainbow, hope, and bullseye focus. This is showing me, first of all, a refrigerator, which I'm seeing as either empty or filled with food. It depends on how you're looking at your life, like cup half full, cup half empty kind of thing. The rainbow is a promise, and that's where the hope is coming from. And the bullseye here is about being on target. So if you are continuing to keep your eyes on the prize, right? Focus on the prize and keep that hope alive. Believe, somewhere over the rainbow, right? If you can keep that energy, I feel like you're going to see a turnaround happening for you with money, because in the past I've seen discomfort here, and now we're seeing joy coming in. What's so funny is that I just did my nails myself, and it brought me so much joy. And when I was the day before I was planning to do my nails, I saw Tiff Carter, who's a really awesome business coach, money mindset coach. Definitely important. She's coming up through the money portion of this reading. If you don't know Tiffany Carter on TikTok, go find her, look up Tiff Carter. She's so helpful with money mindset. I saw her on Friday, and she said fresh nails equals fresh cash. And I shit you not, as I was doing my fingernails yesterday, for the first time ever doing gel nails, first time ever doing extensions, like I literally did everything for the first time yesterday, praying that my nails are like disinfected enough and everything's going to be copacetic and healthy and great. But in the middle of that, I received the money that I needed to get insurance for my car so that I could drive my car and not worry about it not being insured, because I Finally was able to pay off my registration, and then that changed my address, and then it's blah blah blah. And during the process of doing my nails, I received the money that I needed for that and was able to overcome that obstacle yesterday. So joy and focus is what is creating this abundance that's coming in. If you are not in a place of joy, it's gonna be hard to receive abundance. Because if you think about it, if somebody came to you right now and said, here is $1 million untaxed, you can do whatever you want with it. You can do anything you want with it right now. I'm sure you would experience some joy, right? You would be like, hell yes, that's amazing. And in your mind right now, you think, I need the person to say you're getting $1 million for me to get the joy. But I guarantee you that the $1 million comes when you're already in a state of joy. And if you can be in a state of joy without it, then you can receive it. Because if you give any signal to your higher self that you don't believe you will be joyful without the thing you want, your higher self is not going to want to confirm that belief for you. Because your higher self wants you to understand that you are always able to tap into joy and fulfillment and happiness and prosperity without physical evidence of it. And in fact, it is that tapping into it that causes there to be a physical reaction, which creates what it is you thought you needed to get what you are now already feeling. If that makes sense. So keep hoping, keep believing, keep focusing, and make sure that you're functioning from a joyful place. Remember, fresh nails equals fresh cash. I made more money yesterday doing my nails than I did doing live readings for the collective, period. Did I make a little money doing live readings? Yes. Did I make as much money as I did when I was painting my nails? No. Why do you think that is? I mean, I get joy actually doing this too. But because when I do this, I'm also thinking about what I'm making. I'm focused. This is my business. I do need to create a certain amount of wealth from these interactions. I do hope people will book privately. I do hope they will make donations. So when I'm here, I am joyful. This is work I love to do, but I'm also conscious, right? I'm conscious. My mind is focused on the prize. When I was painting my nails, I wasn't thinking about money at all. My friend Lady Luna, she's chatting with me. I'm just focused on my nails, doing what I need to do, trying to get them to look nice just for fun, and because I know that it will be pleasing when I make my cards and the camera's focused on my hands, whatever. That's when I made more. Literally disproving my theory that I have to work extremely hard to make a lot of money. No, you don't. No, you don't. I know I lived in a community of people that worked the hardest of anyone I have ever met, and they were poor people. They were poor people in an urban community that I lived in when I lived in Los Angeles. I was one of them. We all struggled together on the struggle bus, worked harder than any of the fucking rich people in Beverly Hills were working that day. And I know because I used to go teach their kids, and they would be like, oh, we're going to the beach today. Oh, we're going to do this today. Oh, we're going to do that today. Meanwhile, back in downtown LA, everyone is working extremely hard, scratching by, eking out a meager existence. It's not about effort. It isn't. I wish it was. Because I want to go and rain abundance on all those amazing people that I met there. On all those beautiful people with families and dreams and hopes that felt impossible. Like, I want to just go shower them. I could cry. Just shower them with all the money in the world because they deserve it. They work harder than anybody. It's not about effort. And you've got to really lean into that and believe that it is about joy. Joy brings prosperity. People that are like real Jesus freaks and like born again, and they're like, oh my God, God brings me so much joy, and I believe in joy and everything, and they receive abundance from it, and they're connecting that with, oh, it's Jesus that's doing it. It's your mindset. It's the joy you feel connecting with the divine. If you felt joy in your life in any way, it would bring abundance to you. You can also get abundance through struggle. That's like, I don't think that everybody in the world who has a lot of money is just joyful. I don't. I think some people believe so much that if you struggle and if you work really hard, it does provide for you. And I think it will. Whatever you believe about it, it's going to accommodate you. But you can receive more from a place of joy because you're just more open to receiving than you can from a place of struggle. Think about the feeling of struggling. You're like this. You're like, oh, this is hard. I gotta just like put my nose to the grindstone. I just gotta focus really hard on what I'm doing. It's a clamped down energy. And when you get something after that, you're like, yes, finally, and it feels good. And some people really like that. That's part of your journey. And maybe if you can accept that about yourself. Somebody pointed out to me once when I play The Sims, the way I used to play is I never used to cheat. I never used to give my Sims money. I used to make them fucking work from the ground up. They had to get as much money as possible struggling. And it was so satisfying when they would get hit all their goals. And one time I said, I just want my life to be easy. I just want somebody to hand me a recording contract. I just want somebody to give me money so I can do music whenever I want. And my friend was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And I was like, what do you mean? Of course I do. And they were like, no. When you play The Sims, which is a game, you play that game and the hardest possible level with the hardest possible challenges, and you enjoy it. And because that's what you like, and that's literally how you're choosing to play, I know that it is highly unlikely that you just really want somebody to give you something for nothing. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start cheating on The Sims because I don't want my life to be a horrible struggle. I want things to come easily to me, and I don't want everything to be a horrible challenge. And my friend was like, then start playing The Sims differently. And I did. And you know what? It did change my life. I remember immediately after that, I created this house with a bunch of money. I was watching Love and Hip Hop at the time, which I thought was just the greatest show. It was so funny and interesting to watch, and I'm a musician and I was living in LA, so I was fantasizing about having a manager and getting brand deals and all this kind of stuff. And then this one day my friend calls me and is like, oh hey, there's this hip-hop artist who's touring with 2 Chainz that wants you to produce their solo record, and they're gonna call you. And then in 2 days after that phone call, a black car was sent to my house to pick me up to take me over to Dr. Dre's studio so I could listen to an unreleased Kendrick Lamar album and shoot the shit with this hip-hop group who I then produced a solo record for and made money in cash out of nowhere. And I was like, oh my God, all I literally did in that case was be friends with somebody and have been interested in music and have my friend say that I sounded like Portishead, that my music sounded like Portishead, which was a huge compliment. That's it. And you know how I did that? Playing The Sims with ka-ching. So go play The Sims. Go do your nails. Go do something fun. Go get some joy. Watch your money situation change. Watch your love situation change. Watch everything change. And it's so easy to test. It works. It works I think the turnaround time is less than 48 hours on this. Get into your joy. Sometimes it's seconds later. Literally seconds later. That's my advice to you today. I hope that's helped everyone. I am going to go downstairs now and enjoy our Memorial Day dinner and spend some time with my family. I will be back tomorrow. I'm probably going to do, I don't know at what reading I'm going to plan to do. I might do Wednesday's reading tomorrow because I'm going to be gone on Wednesday. I'm going to be traveling Tuesday and Wednesday and coming back Thursday. So I will stop in to do a live tomorrow for sure. And I will be uploading this once I can get it off of TikTok later this evening. So if you missed any of the beginning of the reading, you'll be able to find it. First place, always go to passes.com/pearlsprayers or the Pearls Prayers link in my profile, turnedintarot.com. That's the easiest way, almost guaranteed, to find a full reading. If I don't post the reading there in full, I usually post the link to it if it's posted on YouTube. So passes.com is your place to get updates on everything I post for the most part. And then of course Tune In Tarot YouTube will have, I'll probably take out the personal readings and although it's hard for me to edit, so I might just put the whole thing up there. I don't know. But to those of you who are members at Passes, thank you. I appreciate you. When somebody signs up for membership, it's very helpful because it's almost one of the only ways I can guarantee stabilized income each month versus, random reading here and a random reading here. So I really value those memberships. They do mean a lot to me. Thanks again for all the likes. Thanks for the shares. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for asking questions. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Have a happy Memorial Day for those of you who are celebrating. Bye. I love you too. Thank you. See you later. Okay. What? Cool. I don't want to see my performance. I want to end it. There.